As second Diaspora Investment Summit ends, Nigerians outside the country advised to help fill in funding gaps. Senate to investigate security activities at safe anchorage area in Lagos ports. Plus, House wades into outcry on increase of fees at University of Maiduguri. Hello and welcome to Panorama on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Rhoda Anonam. Begin Panorama today on the second Diaspora Summit as Nigerians in the diaspora having advised to take advantage of the federal government's diversification program by investing in such areas as infrastructural development, agriculture, health and renewable energy, which in the last 4 years have been the focus of government. Speaking at the second edition of the Diaspora Investment Summit in Abuja, the Vice President says their investment in these areas will go a long way to fill the funding gaps currently being experienced by the country. State House correspondent Jide Onifade has the report.
The theme of the second Diaspora Investment Summit is leveraging diaspora resources for economic growth. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's remark at the event focused on how this could be achieved.
How do we mobilize resources for both foreign direct investment and portfolio investment? And how do we effectively market these vehicles?
The answers to the many questions, as the Vice President observes, lie in other successful works by countries and agencies that Nigeria can draw from.
So now it's entirely possible to work with both local and international agencies to seek ways of de-risking diaspora investments.
We're moving on so that at the federal level, working with agencies like NIPC, NEPC, CAC, EFCC, and other agencies, and also at the state level where you work with states to ensure that everything works together.
Enacting laws, legislations that will impact positively to the economy, legislation that will have an impact on our own economy, legislation that will promote diversification of our economy from oil to non-oil sector.
The journey to full and effective partnership between the country and those in the diaspora is becoming more exciting and more promising. Vice President Osinbajo hopes this partnership will last for a very long time. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NT News.
To legislative matters, the state has mandated its Committee on Navy and Maritime Transport to investigate security activities at safe anchorage area in Lagos ports. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports that this followed a motion by Senator George Simba, which explained that a company is alleged to be carrying out illegal security operations at the port.
Thursday's plenary was a session without any motion of urgent public importance. Business of the day was confined to the items on the order paper. One of the items that engaged the legislators is the motion that called for investigation of alleged illegal security operations by a company at the Lagos seaport.
While the MASA, Marine Police and Navy, Nigerian Navy has the sole responsibility to ensure a safe and secure Nigeria territorial waters.
That our committees on Navy, Marine Transport and Finance, you have a big responsibility on your shoulders. This is a serious matter and we have to treat it as such.
Senator Mohammed Sani Musa drew the attention of the Senate to the urgent need for the federal government to complete the Kagara Dam and the 1 million gallon water treatment plant in Niger State.
This Committee on Water Resources to investigate the delay in the execution of the projects since the negotiation in the year 2001.
Our people in that area are definitely suffering.
Senate called on the Nigerian Police Force and Federal Road Safety Corps to carry out investigation into the recent tragic incidents of fuel tanker fire in Onitsha, Anambra State. Senator Ifeanyi Ubah moved the motion.
The Federal Fire Service, if they have service in Anambra State, they will review their activities.
It is for our agencies that are responsible for this to train these people, to know that the people who are driving, handling these vehicles are same people that can manage.
The bill for the establishment of Federal Polytechnic Oregon in Delta State, sponsored by Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omo Agege, was passed through second reading. Well, this week the Senate has passed a total of 32 bills through first reading. On Tuesday was 11 bills, Wednesday 10 bills, and then this time around 11 bills. Well, this implies that in days to come, we will be seeing quite a number of debates on bills that will be coming up for second reading. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has lent its voice to calls to prevent University of Maiduguri from implementing the recent increase on academic and other charges by the institution. The House at Tuesday's plenary said management of the institution ought to be sensitive to the security and economic challenges being faced, which pointed to the disadvantaged position of people in Borno State in accessing education due to the activities of Boko Haram terrorists.
A lot of students, especially from Borno and the northeast states, will drop out of school. If this decision is light of the day, the situation may force them to become a social menace to the society.
The issues of Maiduguri is very, very peculiar and important. And I believe that the school fees should not even be increased at all.
The House stressed that rather than increase on charges, incentives should be introduced to further encourage education activities. The recent fire disaster at the Maiduguri GSM market was also brought to the attention of lawmakers by Representative Abdul Qadir Rahis, after which the House urged Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to assist the victims.
It was also serving as a training facility for boarding technicians in the GSM and ICT industry. The unfortunate incident is a major setback.
The House, in response to a matter of urgent importance from Abdullahi Abdul Qadir, urged the Federal Ministry of Health to investigate the outbreak of a disease in parts of Bauchi State suspected to be yellow fever, which has so far claimed about 30 lives. House members at Tuesday's plenary also resolved to investigate alleged non-repayment of $7 billion disbursed in 2006 by the CBN to some global asset managers and banks, as moved by Yunus Ahmed, while Victor Koladi's motion on the need to ascertain the degree of implementation of requirements of local content in Nigeria's oil and gas industry was also adopted. As the commencement of plenary, Deputy Speaker Ahmed Idris Wasi brought to the notice of members a presidential communication on the Finance Bill 2019.
I trust that the bill will be expeditiously considered by the House of Representatives. Please accept the Honorable Speaker the assurance of my highest considerations.
Meanwhile, the House passed for second reading a bill for an act to amend the Nigeria Education Research and Development Council, and another seeking to repeal the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News. The federal government's anti-corruption crusade took center stage at a special town hall meeting by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. The platform afforded citizens the opportunity to engage government officials in a no-bards manner. Anthony Forsing has the report.
The fight against corruption is one of the cardinal programs of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. The war having the backing of a strong political will, this special town hall meeting is designed to take a closer look at the crusade so far through an interface with government officials and stakeholders. As usual, the convener, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, led the way.
The war against corruption is a war of survival for Nigeria. This is because the success of the other key programs of the government, such as revamping the economy and tackling security, is closely intertwined with how well the nation is able to fight corruption. For as long as the nation fails to check corruption, tackling insecurity and the revamping of the economy will remain a mirage. In other words, the fight against corruption is pivotal to the success of the other cardinal programs of the administration.
Representative of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice followed, explaining the rationale behind Executive Order 6.
We feel if we allow people to still have access to these funds, through which they can make a mess of the whole system, corrupt the judges, corrupt the investigators, then we are joking.
Representatives of the Inspector General of Police and that of the Chairman, Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption were in unison that the anti-corruption crusade is on course. However, it will require the support of all Nigerians to succeed.
If you don't do it, you are not helping us. We We are in our offices in Abuja. We can't be everywhere in the country at the same time. So it behoves on the public to assist us, check our men who are deployed on duty.
To actually succeed in the fight against corruption, you must wholeheartedly and sincerely carry the bar and bench along. They must key very much into the fight against corruption. There shouldn't be any two ways about it. Especially lawyers must key into the fight against corruption. That you are either in it.
Traitors will fight back viciously.
This monster can be tamed. All that is needed is combination of courage, guard, integrity, and determination. All of us must be determined.
Chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and his Code of Conduct Bureau counterpart said the present administration has no hiding place for corrupt individuals, hence the need for Nigerians to live within their means.
People beg to get admission, they beg to pass, they beg to graduate, they beg to get a job, and then they beg to get promoted. People just believe that they can get things done when they beg their way through, and they spiritualize begging. But it doesn't work. And it's clearly not working. It's gotten us into the trouble that we're in.
To all of us, in relation to change of attitude and build a new society that will bequeath to our children a corrupt-free Nigeria. A Nigeria where integrity, honesty, and hard work is recognized and rewarded. Only then can the pledge we made to Nigeria be meaningful, as we always recite.
Even though the platform was for serious engagement, the question and answer session turned out a moment for contributions and advice on how government can win the battle. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
We turn our attention now to the judiciary, where the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has invited the Deputy Controller General of Nigeria Correctional Service in charge of medical services to come and ascertain the health condition of the former chairman of the Pensions Reform Task Team, Abdul Rashid Maina. The presiding judge, Justice Okon Aban, gave the order upon the appearance of Maina in court in a wheelchair. Olabode Arewa has the report.
Abdul Rashid Maina's trial was scheduled to resume on Monday this week. His absence due to ill health caused the proceedings to be postponed. He ever appeared for his trial this Thursday in a wheelchair. The prosecution counsel, Salisu Abubakar, indicated interest in proceeding with the trial, but doubted the suitability of Maina to stand trial. Justice Okunabang thereafter ordered that the Deputy Controller General of the Nigeria Correctional Service should appear in court to give a medical report on Maina's condition. Abdul Rashid Maina is facing a 12-count charge of alleged fraud and money laundering. Meanwhile, Justice Folashade Giwa Ogumbanjo has ordered that the Independent National Electoral Commission should restore the name of Natasha Akpoti and her party, the Social Democratic Party, on the ballot paper during the November 16 governorship election in Kogi State. The court held that Anex's decision to exclude Natasha Akpoti was contrary to the 1999 Constitution, which vested such powers in the courts. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
The Court of Appeals sitting in Kaduna has dismissed the case filed by the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Kaduna, challenging the judgment of the election tribunal, which affirmed Malam Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai as the duly elected governor of the state. Abdullahi Muhammad reports.
It took the 5-man panel of justices a couple of days to peruse the documents containing evidences brought before it to pass its judgment. Reading a unanimous stand on the matter, Justice Hakim Abiru laid bare the substantial loopholes that the panel of justices found in the evidences provided in court by the appellant. It's therefore held that the appellant's case lacks merit and has no option than to uphold the judgment of the election tribunal, which affirmed the election of Malam Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai while dismissing the PDP governorship candidate's appeal.
Even within this short period, the Court of Appeal did justice to all the points raised.
All
the allegations that the appellants made against the decision of the lower tribunal, the Court of Appeal discountenance this.
We have heard, we have a few growls here and there over the judgment just delivered. We intend to go back, sit down, drawing board, take a critical look at it, have a review, and take it up from there.
The appeal court sitting in Kaduna has also sacked Engineer Suleiman Aliu, who is representing Lere Federal Constituency, citing the fact that he has not fully participated in the election and declaring the PDP candidate Muhammad Rabiul Lawal as the winner of that election. In Kaduna, Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
You're watching Panorama on the network service of the NTA. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we have more reports. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back, and if you've just joined us, you're watching Panorama on the NTA. Sustainable and fruitful partnership that will aid the achievement of the next level agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari are some of the key priorities of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. Director General of NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, stated this during an audience with the heads of some establishments on a courtesy visit to the NTA. Yusuf Umar has the details.
The exchange of pleasantries and souvenirs between the two executives is an indication that the two organizations have agreed to work together for the betterment of Nigeria and Nigerians, especially for the youth who are of school age. Vice-Chancellor of Nile University, Professor Osman Nouri Aras, says the establishment of Nile University 10 years ago has contributed immensely to the human capital development of Nigeria. Hence, the need for partnership with NTA towards achieving Nigeria's new generation dreams.
Private and public institutions are very, very important for us to achieve, to collaborate Nigeria's human capital and social capital.
NTA Director General Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad says the present administration has human capital development as one of its priorities, and NTA is always ready to partner with any organization that is working toward achieving success in that regard.
Many universities have been set up by the federal
government. Many polytechnics have been set up by the federal government. So this administration is well aware of the importance of human capital.
The first female chairman of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, and the managing director of Abubakar Remi Television, Kano, Hajiasa Ibrahim, who was on a thank you visit to the NTA family for their support on her emergence as the 13th chairman of BON.
The organization has produced 5 chairmen till date who have combined tenure of about 6 years and also hosted General Assembly 7 times, the highest member of this organization has ever hosted.
Director General Yakubu Ibn Muhammad says the emergence of Hajiasa Ibrahim as the new BON chairman is a plus to the women folk in the broadcasting industry, urging her to make difference in providing effective solutions to the challenges of the organization.
We need to have the face and character of BON changed.
The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, was established on 11 of August 1988 as an independent, non-governmental umbrella association of all private, public, commercial and community electronic media houses in Nigeria. In Abuja, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, has commended the Federal Road Safety Corps for the level of infrastructural development at the FRSC Academy OD in Enugu State. The SGF gave the commendation while inaugurating some completed projects at the Academy. Jude Abugu reports.
To the benefit of mankind and the glory of God.
The projects, which include the 500-seater capacity new auditorium named after the President Muhammadu Buhari, the fully equipped Academy's Information and Communication Complex, and the Academy's Medical Center, the SGF noted are very strategic to the planned expansion of the Academy for the soon-to-commence graduate and postgraduate degree programs on road safety, road management, and transport management. He therefore pleaded with the Enugu State government to donate more lands to the Academy, as a technical assessment team from World Bank would soon visit the Academy.
Federal Road Safety Corps Academy OD in Enugu State is strategic for several reasons, including the fact that it is the only military and paramilitary academy located in the southeast geopolitical zone.
The Corps Marshal, Boboye Oyeyemi, appreciated the President for releasing funds for the project. He also thanked the Enugu State government and the host community for their support.
Government of the day since 2015 when Mr. President came on board, we've been getting unparalleled support.
The 5 Southeast governors who sent representatives expressed their willingness to support the Academy as it strives to be the center of excellence in road safety study in Africa.
I charge the Academy to be a prime institution for research and development of ideas for road safety management.
Established in 2006 and relocated to Enugu State in 2014, the Academy has gradually attained maturity as it recently received the nod of the federal government and the NUC to run graduate and postgraduate degree programs. In Enugu, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
The desire to develop mental and physical capabilities of personnel of the Nigerian Navy to undertake routine operations for effective professionalism, the Nigerian Navy has introduced body mass index scale based on height and weight of personnel. It is against this backdrop that the Eastern Naval Command 2019 Intra-Command Sports Championship took place in Calabar. Ode Alenyo reports.
The competition is to also prepare personnel of the command for the Naval Inter-Command competition to be organized by the Naval Headquarters. Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral David Adeniran, enjoins athletes and officials to imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship to ensure a hitch-free competition. Representative of the Cross River State Government, Dr. Alfred Mboto, assures of government's continuous support and encouragement for capacity building in all sectors.
We need for us to give them assistance. I know that now the FOC was thanking him for the facility has given for them for naval to use, but I think he will do more.
Preceding the kickoff of the competition, the championship torch was ignited and deployed to other units of the command, including NNS Victory, NNS Jubilee, Eastern Fleet, NNS Pathfinder, by the Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral David Adeniran.
And the purpose of the torchlight is to show it signifies unity.
23 sporting events are competed for by 4 teams. A football match which ended with 2 unreplied goals at regulation time in favor of Team Port Harcourt, who played against the Fleet team, opened the event. In Calabar, Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
Let's join Kanema Abudike for some sports news.
A 4-day Fate Africa Badminton Workshop organized by the Badminton Federation of Nigeria continues in Abuja with the aim of developing and sharpening the skills and coaching abilities of the coaches and para-badminton players.
They are getting to learn a lot of things new in para-badminton, and so that was what we wanted to achieve, to raise the level of para-badminton in Nigeria and to do it properly.
Nigeria and 14 other African countries are taking part in the workshop, which ends Saturday. About 150 golfers from 7 African countries, including Nigeria, are set to compete in the 2019 Nigeria Ladies Open Golf Tournament, which tees off November 12 at the IBB International Golf and Country Club Abuja. In a press briefing Wednesday in Abuja, organizers expressed optimism about a hitch-free tournament.
I expect a very fierce competition because the defending champion comes from Uganda, and she took the prize the last time, and this time around we're not going to allow her to go anywhere.
In a concerted effort to improve on its status, other African countries, the Nigeria Shooting Sport Federation has commenced 3-day national trials to select best junior shooters that will represent the country at the forthcoming African Shooting Championship in Tipasa, Algeria, November 17 to 26.
I'm being focused on what I'm repeating consistently, how I'm shooting, that I can see that is very good.
If I can shoot well with the rules guiding shooting, sure I can make this in.
The championship will also serve as qualifiers for Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. With sports update, Kenan Ima Abodike, NTA News.
And that's Panorama for today, the last for this week. It will be back again on Monday. But for more news updates and news from across the country, join us again on the network service at 4 p.m. for Nationwide. Thank you for watching. I'm Rhoda Anonam.